How's it going, guys? Cody guys back again, dropping yet another video. Right guys, let's get into it. This is a story in the Wales Online. It's about a former drug addict criminal desperately seeking a new life but rejected because of his past. Now, I've not read the story before. I'm going to read it. I'll do my little thing at the end, but from the title it seems like someone that's quit crime and come off the drugs, which is a very hard cycle to break, and then put them two together, breaking a cycle of drugs, a life of drugs and a life of crime. It's extremely hard to do, trying to better himself, but society look at his past rather than looking at where he is now. And we all deserve a second chance in society. None of us are angels. But let's get into it, guys. So this is in the Wales Online. Link in the description below, like I always do. Headline reads, "The former drug addict criminal desperately seeking a new life but rejected because of his past. Carl Chant has won an award for his work at Grenfell and met royalty, but claims employers can't look past his life as an heroin addict. Carl Chant just wants to go to work every day like everybody else, but his past is haunting him. He wants to work, he's trying to work, and people interviewing him for jobs seem to really like him. Then they check up on his past, a life that he's left firmly behind him, and another door is slammed firmly in his face. The 44-year-old left home at 13 for personal reasons and ended up living on the streets of Doncaster. He began stealing from cars to be able to buy food and survive, before spending 13 years in and out of prisons for drug dealing, robbery and burglary. When I was on the streets, I was sleeping in a greenhouse at a friend's flat," Mr. Chant said. "I used to break into cars and nick leather jackets and sell them. You could get 20 quid for a leather jacket. That would last you for a few days. That's where my criminal activity started, as I was hanging around with people in the area who also stole. I started to climb up the drug tree, and when I started taking crack and heroin, the crimes went up. It was just to fund the habit and just for survival. It was crazy to be on the streets at that age, and he still lives with me now. Every now and again it hits me." He moved to Llanelli in 2007 to start a new life, where he began volunteering at a nearby drug rehabilitation charity, Choose a Life, before getting a job with the Red Cross 2 years later. He added, "I was on heroin from 1996 for 6 years, but I improved myself to get a chance in life. My turning point was when I came out of the prison in 2004 and I moved to Llanelli in 2007. I just had enough. I had a fresh canvas and I thought, what do you want to do? I gained a job with the Red Cross and was working at the Swansea office, and I'm working with people with dementia, people who are on drugs, old ladies who are bedbound, people with cancer. I get on with the older generation." He also went to Grenfell following the fire in the tower block in which 72 people died. 6 or 7 of us from Swansea office went up to help at Grenfell. We were giving emotional support to the people living in the building and helping the community. But after working for the Red Cross for 7 years, he decided to resign in May to pursue a job as a carer close to his home in Llanelli. Since then, he has struggled to secure more employment and believes potential employers can't look past his past. "It was the right time to do it," he said, "as I have also had knee ligament realignment surgery, which can take 6 to 9 months to recover." He also added, "I worked for 7 years doing tenancy support. I received a Dunant award for helping at Grenfell. I've met Prince Charles, but whatever I've done doesn't seem to matter." Henry Dunant, who was the founder of the British Red Cross, and they don't give the awards out just to anybody. Only a handful are given out every couple of years, and I was fortunate to receive that for helping at Grenfell, but now I'm not being given a chance and I'm only being judged on my past. Nobody seems to look at the fact that I've worked with the Red Cross. I've done my bit to show that I'm worthy in society. I want to work in care, but now I'm battling against my past. They love me in my interviews, but when they do background checks, they can't look past my past. I've been to interviews and people have said that everything is good, but then when they do when the background check comes back, they say, sorry, they can't take the chance. I don't want to give up with care because I've done it in the last 7 years and it's all I actually know apart from being a criminal. Addicts are asked to come to a place where they don't know and are not familiar with them. And then when they are there, they're just left there, and that's why people go back to drugs. Mr. Chant receives employment and support allowance, but despite this has been using local food banks to be able to feed himself. He explained that his mental health has suffered as a result of helping at Grenfell, and the death of his stepson Brendan Holder, God bless him, who took his own life in August, has been a big loss in his life. Mr. Holder has also been known as Brendan Martin Rudge, posted a heartbreaking final message to his friends and family before tragically taking his own life. He put up a picture of himself as a baby with his mum and wrote, "Sorry for anyone I hurt. Please don't think I'm selfish. I wasn't the best of sons and friends. I'm sorry. I'll see you all soon. Sorry for who I hurt. Bye, guys." The 24-year-old was found shortly after in the early hours of Saturday, August the 4th. Mr. Chant added, "I'm at my lowest at the moment. I don't want to live some days, and I don't want to give in other days. I feel so alone, but I'm still trying to remain positive. Brendan was the only person that I would speak to, and he was also always thankful that I stuck around. He gave me a teddy when I was 10, and I've always kept it. I can't even put it into words. His teacher told me at his funeral that he was so proud of me, and he told them about me being an addict and helping at Grenfell with the Red Cross. Despite feeling at his lowest, Mr. Chant now wants to focus on his life, on caring for others, and putting something back into the community. What he says because he took so much away as a criminal. I want to give back to the community. I want to have a normal life. I just want to work. I want to care for people, and I want to come home," he said. "I want to make people happy and do a good deed for the day. I want to put back in what I took away as a criminal. I do want to fight the corner for people like me because what are we supposed to do? With employers, it's the fear of doing something wrong that I've even done with it. Hold on. The fear of me doing something wrong before I've even done it, sorry. It's kind of heartbreaking. I want to highlight how hard it is to still be judged for ex-addicts to rehabilitate. I've come so far. Drug and alcohol charity, Addiction, supports people who want to make lasting change in their lives by helping them to alter their behaviour to become the best they can be. Karen Tyler from Addiction said employers should be encouraged to look at employees on an individual basis. People who are recovering from alcohol and drug misuse and mental health problems are some of the most determined and insightful people you could ever meet," she said. "Their life experience can really bring a helpful new perspective, and they can often be highly valued by employers for their dedication to what they do. Employers often ask candidates about criminal convictions as part of a job application. This puts a barrier up for people with a history of substance abuse. Knowing about someone's history might feel important for employers, but it's often a false comfort. We'd encourage all employers to take a look at each employee on a case-by-case basis. We all more than our past." I don't know what that means. And then some of the comments, one of the comments below, someone said in the comment section, guys, "Anyone who has met this person would know how much of a nice person he is. I've met him several times. He's very humble and a good lad. He doesn't want to live a life of having to live off benefits. He just wants a normal life. He has done a lot of good since his past, so give him a break." Someone else says, "Well done for turning your life around, but you had a job, you decided to resign before securing employment elsewhere." Yeah, another person here says, "Yes, this man has done wrong in his past, but he's paid for all that. Lots of you have a double standards. Everyone deserves a second chance." And I have to, guys, I am an ex-offender, guys, right? And like I say, I've never struggled with addiction or anything like that. I've never turned to drugs or drink. I've been homeless twice. I've been in prison 3 times. I'm trying to gain, like, active employment and stuff like that. I do bits and pieces and stuff like that, but nothing. I want to work. Like I say, I volunteer and stuff, and I'm just volunteering now for a rehabilitation charity. And I'm trying to better myself. But what's the point in changing your criminal behaviour in this person's instance or my instance, where employers can't see past the ex-offender tag or the fact that he used to take drugs? I think a lot of his thing, I don't think it's so much to do with the drugs. I think it is in a way, because if he, let's say that he admits he was committing thefts and stuff, right, to feed himself and to feed his habit, right, that stemmed from the drugs. So the drugs are an active factor and a contributing factor. And obviously he committed crime. But when even though he's reformed now and stuff like that, and these convictions are spent, in the eyes of employers, even if you're an ex-offender that hasn't been done for theft or anything, they seem to label you as dishonest or untrustworthy. And they won't give you that step up that you need, right, to better yourself. This man has volunteered for free. He went to Grenfell, which I can't even imagine. Like, 72 people died in that fire. God bless them, may they rest in peace, right? He's met the Prince Charles, like I say. He's won an award. His son tragically took his own life. He still wants to run through the flames of fire that he's been through to put out fires for other people and help other people, guys, in society. That should be commended, and that should be respected. Unfortunately, guys, employers are very short-sighted. If you've got 50 applicants for a job and 5 of them have got criminal convictions, and they state that, this is the situation you find yourself in the UK, because I've got American subscribers, Dan Robinson and such from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania and such. In the UK, if you apply for a job, there's a thing like a criminal declaration where you've got to declare spent or unspent convictions. Now, if you tick that box and then you put what you've been arrested for and what you've been criminal convicted of, you won't get through the door for a job. If you don't tick the box and you lie and you gain employment, you'll be sacked because you've lied on your job application. In other words, it's a no-win situation. It's a catch-22. It's a rock and a hard place. It really, really is. Like I say, ex-offenders, guys, right? I worked in prison 7 days a week for a whopping £10.25 a week. How is that supposed to give you a sense of self-worth, that you have a stake in society and re-engage you? And it simply doesn't. So if I worked 7 days a week for £10.25, right? Imagine what I would be like if someone was to give me a job minimum wage. I'm unskilled. I've got no education. I've got no GCSEs. I've got no discernible skills. But I've got a lot to give employers and stuff. And like I say, other people, we would work harder. We would be more reliable than other people. Because like I say, you've been exploited in prison, and you work for free, and now you're trying to better yourself. I'm going to be volunteering, guys, because I'm simply trying to put something on my CV. I want to better myself, and so does this person. So does Carl Chant. And like I say, look at what he's been through. Look at the adversity he's been through. To kick in addiction to Class A drugs, right, heroin and crack cocaine, namely, right, is hard. I've never done it myself. I know people that have been on drugs and stuff like that. It's extremely hard, right? And then you're trying to break a cycle of crime, which again is extremely hard, right? And if he falls back into drugs, he's going to fall back into crime because he needs to commit criminal acts to pay for the drugs. But he's trying to better himself, guys. He's volunteered. He's given his time to other people. He respects the older generation. Sounds like he's got an heart of gold, guys. He might not have a pot to piss in, but it sounds like he's a good guy with a good heart. And his grit and determination and motivation and perseverance will pay off in the long run. I genuinely do believe that. Stories like this, I'm hoping that an employer reads this story. This story was from the 13th of January, so just a few days ago now. I'm hoping an employer sees this, reaches out to the paper. The paper will have a contact number for Carl Chant, and then they could potentially offer him a job. And like I say, we've all made... The thing is, people that are sort of prejudging people and judging people, right, then you've got to be whiter than white. And the reality is, nobody is perfect, right? And unless you are whiter than white, and like I say, nobody is. Everyone's made mistakes, whether it be a small mistake, whether it be a large mistake, whether it's 10 small mistakes or one massive mistake. We've all made mistakes in our lives, right? But should we be given a second chance? Absolutely. And like I say, this guy, it takes a lot to break the cycle of crime, the cycle of addiction. I'm frustrated for him. I've been in the same boat myself, but obviously not the drug side of things. And I still am in the same boat. So I've got nothing but respect for Carl Chant and stuff. God bless him. I hope that something turns around for him very, very soon. And if there's any further stories on this Carl Chant, God bless him, I'll bring it to you. God bless his son Brendan. May he rest in peace. On that note, guys, going to leave it there. Like, comment, subscribe. Cody out.